thank you so much for being here. And today I'm just going to talk quickly, briefly, and of course in details about unmasking your tech journey, just like I've displayed in the details screen. And thanks to Tommy for that introduction. I think that captures everything I would have, shared as an introduction as well. So thank you so much, everyone. So let's just get started. There are a few things that I'm going to be focusing on. This whole slide is not so detailed. I just called it my idiot card, where I just pen down the things I want to focus on. As regard unmasking a tech career journey, a lot of people have probably dived into it from a place of, I want to make money, which is not a bad reason anyways. You could have joined it with so much passion, and probably along the line, you are like, what am I really doing? I don't think I want to do this again. And some people have been there in the last 5 years and they're just stuck. Like, they don't know how to move forward. They don't even know if how do they even sell themselves in a way that they can go from a product manager or a software engineer level to, the engineering manager level, like someone that just finished speaking now, or to the CTO level. So we are going to be going through this journey. So while I'm going through this journey, it's also a journey that anybody, you could either be from step 1 and you could be at probably step 3, you could be at step 6 of the whole journey. So let's take it one after the other. And the first thing we're going to be dealing with today is exploration and education. I'm taking it from the very beginning. So I'm just starting up my career. I've taken some courses on Udemy, Udacity, YouTube, even Academy. I've attended some institutions. When I'm diving into tech, what is the first step? I would say the first step is exploration, right? And the first step under exploration is weeding. I call it weeding because this is the stage at which you have to go through the bush and remove the shaft away from it. A lot of time, most of the time, one of the mistakes I see a lot of techie make, which, by the way, I made it as well, but I was quickly able to do a U-turn because I was able to see someone that mentors me, which we'll talk about later. The weeding part is, for example, I want to go into tech. The first thing that comes to your mind is software development. And then you'd go in, you start learning programming language, Java, C++, Python, everything, just start learning. At that point, any career you choose at that point, you usually face a lot of frustration. You possibly have to spend years before you pick up that career and be excelling at it, to even a place of, okay, you can now call yourself a tech bro, your tech sis, right? You face a lot of challenges, you face a lot of stagnation, you face a lot of frustration because you have not gone through it the ideal way or the proper way that you should go through it. You have just gone through it, like we call it, accident career. So weeding is necessary because it helps you to shaft away the things that you don't want and focus more on what you actually want. Now, you have read a lot about tech. This is the point when you read a lot about tech. You have heard so much about tech. You have heard about it has money. You have heard about, you can work from home. You have heard about the opportunities you have there. You have heard about where you can work, the big companies you can work in. Now, the weeding stage is where you start getting the real information and start removing the false information you got. That is necessary because if you don't do that, you will keep going with the false information, and along the line, you get stuck, you get tired, or you get frustrated and drop out of it. The second thing, after you have read you have made your research, you know what tech is and what this is now about versus what you heard from your uncle, nephew, sister, cousin. Now you have an early interest. Now, at this point, you want to go into tech. Now, there is a genuine passion. Now, I want to be a tech bro. Now, there is that hunger part that you want to lay your hands on something and just start learning it. And after that time, formal education. Now, the truth is that from early interest, if you don't get it right from early interest, any education you get at this point is possibly false because you are learning with the delusion of what you want to become, but not necessarily from where you are. So, for example, you know that you want to learn, after doing a lot of reading, you know that you want to become a software developer. But in real sense, you know, as a person that You like talking, you like addressing the audience, you like analyzing through data, you like doing a lot of all of these things that product marketing and data person would possibly want to do. So why not channel your interest in the right position instead of channeling it all over the place? Now you have your early interest, you have picked it, then you now need to go and learn. This is the early interest is mostly what Career Starters Launchpad handles, which is where you have to eat the buffet. The buffet means that you don't just come into tech and say, I want to be a developer and that's it. You should know what product management is. At least read one or two things about it. You should know what software development is. You should know what QA is. You should know what AI is. You should know what the tech that you're hearing around you, UI, UX, data analysis, or data science, or data engineering. Know the difference between them, understand what they are, and then make a decision. Because if that clarity is not, if that clarity is not there, if you are not familiar with what other areas are doing, you feel like what you're doing is the only thing you can do. And that's easily why you get stuck along the way. So make that clarity. If it's a buffet, there's so much information out there for you to consume already about all of these things. You don't need to necessarily go and, buy a course at this point. And today we see your data analysis conference. Tomorrow we see your AI conference, which sort of still relates. Then tomorrow we are seeing your product management. Next tomorrow we are seeing your QA. Next tomorrow we are seeing your software development. It is not bad to know all of those information, but at the right stage. All right. Now, at that stage, yes, you're exploring. You are trying to see what you're interested in. You're trying to really know where you want to channel on. So you have to explore. And that's what we call the buffet stage. Now, when you are done with that and you're finally seeing that this is what you want to do, which is something that last week I mentioned about specializing, then you can now say that, okay, I want to learn thoroughly about this. And one of the things I also want you to know is that I heard it a lot of times. I see it on Twitter and all of these social media platforms saying that university is a scam. In real sense, it's not a scam. Maybe you should try not going to school and try getting into the marketplace. Then you really understand that the formal education you have is not necessarily a scam. It's actually a privilege. Because there are other things beyond the notebook you wrote that you get within a formal education that you will not get on the street. So the formal education is necessary. Most organizations would ask you for the basic or the barest minimum, and they expect you to have it. Because again, formal education is not limited to what I studied in my degree. Formal education is also talking about the things you learn, the certification you have taken, other courses that you have learned, certification courses that you have taken beyond just the notebook and the textbook in classroom. And then after that, continuous learning. So all of these things helps you to explore. The first stage of your career is exploration. In fact, I would personally advise my early stage self to say, explore for as long as you want. I would possibly put 1 year into exploring, because the moment I'm able to explore and get it right from the beginning, I'm certain there's no limitation to where I can go to. And then you see a lot of people in the tech space that they're really getting it right. Like this person barely got into the field 2 years ago. You are seeing the impact that they're making. You are seeing the kind of solution that they are handling. You are seeing the kind of the way that they're able, the opportunities they're able to secure. And I wonder, what are you doing differently? What you're doing different is that they took time to explore. They took the pain to learn the barest minimum thing that you possibly skipped because you want to learn fast and make money. So take your time to explore and don't be naive. And I think the last week I mentioned a lot of the things I would say here. Don't be naive about other people's career. Don't be naive about other fields in the tech space. Don't say because, all I'm doing is data analysis, so therefore I have no business with what QA is in. Like, hello, I don't have anything to do with you. That's not true, because at the end of the day, even if you're a developer and you say, I'm not a tester, which is almost impossible for you not to say, you still have to realize that your roles are intertwining. And I'll talk about the different roles in tech later. Then you can now do continuous learning. And that is what speed up your learning. That is what speed up your progress. The second stage after you have explored is now skill development. Now, there are 3 levels under skill development that we'll talk about here. Now, I've mentioned it earlier to you guys that beyond the formal education, skill development has to do with technical, has to do with soft, and has to do with problem solving. Now, I listed it that way. I could have said technical and soft skill, but there is a problem solving skill that I realized that is almost like a missing gap among everybody in the tech space. Not everybody, like a huge number of people. everybody, a lot of people knows how to write a code. A lot of people knows how to do the design. A lot of people know how to test. A lot of people know how to, do all these documentation and research, for product management and all of those things. But the problem solving skill is almost hidden somewhere that we feel is only meant for the business developers. So there are 3 levels of skills that you must develop as a tech professional. One is your technical skill, one is your soft skill, and one is your problem solving skills. Talking about the technical skills, yes, you want to go into software development, then you're talking about, okay, programming language like Python, like Java, like JavaScript, like C++, whatever programming language is necessary for you on that role. Technically, you're a quality assurance person, you're thinking about all the necessary documentation, test execution, work reporting, identification, risk management, and all of those things. Those are technical skills. Soft skill are now effective communication, the ability to present your idea and sell your idea to people, marketing yourself. We are talking about teamwork. We are talking about time management. We are talking about, being successful at your tech role and being able to carry everybody along. That is soft skill. Now, we are talking about problem solving skills. We're not talking about being innovative, finding innovative solutions to complex problems. Now, if I bring up a taxi and I say, hey, I did an interview with a top tech company recently, and, typical me before then would have been that, okay, they give me a problem. The next thing is I want to start solving the problem. I want to start writing the answers and start typing and start executing. No, but in most cases, they don't even need you to write the actual answer. They want to see how you're able to think through the process and solve the problem. So yes, these are the business, the logical side of things that you might be missing in your career that can make a whole huge difference when you implement them. So you must be able to solve problems, bring in innovative solution. And, even in QAs, when you're writing a bug report, we say possible solutions. We're not even saying that a possible solution might be the solution. We're just saying that, what do you think we could do to solve that problem? So these are possible solutions that can be implemented. These are innovative way. These are, ideas that you can bring to the team. This is the way you have thought about the idea from beginning to end. And that is the reason why, even as a developer, you can know when your PM missed a user scenario. As a tester, you can know when an acceptance criteria is missing. As a designer, you can know what the entire experience is missing from the document that you are being given. That is because you have a problem-solving skill. These skills are important. Now, in tech, what are the different, if we start listing the different tech areas, different tech skills or careers in software development today or in tech field today, you just keep hearing over thousands of lists. But I personally, again, I'm not saying this is the standard. I formulated these 4 categories myself. And it might become a thing later, but this is just the 4 ways I grouped what we have in the tech space today as regards tech skills. And I call it the tech skills matrix. We have the social tech. Now, because when you hear tech, a lot of time people get confused. Now, that is the reason why a company will believe that a QA person should be able to do social media management. It's because they all believe that this thing is tech. And I don't blame them. They don't understand the matrix around it. Now, there is social tech. A social tech person is not the same as an engineering tech. So when a social media, a digital marketer, a content creator or manager, an auditor, a video editing person is saying, I'm in tech, they're talking about the social tech. They're talking about their areas. And then there's so much under social tech. But it's not the same as engineering tech. Engineering tech is talking about core software and application development. We are talking about testing and quality assurance and automation. We are talking about DevOps. We are talking about cybersecurity, cloud computing, and all of those things. Then we are not talking about the emerging tech. Emerging tech like the AI, the machine learning, the blockchain, the robotics, the augmented and VR, and all of those things. Those are what I classify as emerging tech. Now, business tech, we're talking about the business developer, the product managers, the business analysts, the data management, the data visualization scenarios, the client relational management, and all of those things. This is the 4 categories I place. Now, for you, if what you are doing is under cloud computing or under engineering tech, you can see that you cannot even say all you know is development. There is QA under your engineering tech. There is DevOps. There is cybersecurity. There's cloud computing. There are project management and all of those things there that you can do under engineering tech. That might not necessarily be you locking up yourself or trying to learn everything under social tech. So when we say you should learn wide and far, We are saying within the category of a matrix, you should be versatile across. You should know what is happening across. Of course, not being vast, but know what is happening in every other department or every other role under your engineering tech, but being a leader at your own field under the same engineering tech. Now, can you have an idea or inherent skills for other categories? Yes. If you want to do side hustle with any of all of these things, it's a side hustle, and that's why it's called side hustle. It's something you do once in a while, not something that is taking your division away from the main work, right? I know, I have a team member who today, 9 to 5, every Monday to Friday, is a software test engineer and is a great one at that. On the weekend, he's a videographer and photography. He's doing video editing, audio editing, podcast, and all of those things. So there is balance. You can't merge it all together. And you are not saying, don't be clueless about what everybody doing, be involved in what everybody doing in your matrix, in your category, and also have an idea of others, but be a king or be a leader at your own domain. Okay, so these are tech skills matrix. I hope you know where you belong to, depending on who is on the call, everybody on the call. Now, the next thing, now that you have explored and you now know where you are, you're building a skill on what you do, depending on the field you are and all of that. The next thing is to build portfolio. And this is the stage I know that a lot of people who have gone through some academies or YouTube or Udemy or Udacity get stuck. And then you're wondering why you're not getting a job. It's because you don't have a portfolio. In case you don't know the answer before now I'm telling you what the answer is. And what do you mean by building a portfolio? I'm sure you possibly have even heard it before 1,000 times. It means building projects, implementing what you have learned. A lot of time, what we learn is always stuck in our brain. We just lock it up here. We are not really expressing it. And nobody, and I mean, my very popular quote that you can quote it anywhere is that, you don't need a job. You don't need a 9 to 5 job to build, to work. You don't even need it. You don't need a job to have a work. Because the truth is that there is always work. And that is why we say problem-solving skills. If you're able to identify a problem and you're able to pen down how to solve it, you can build portfolios. And you don't need a 9 to 5 job to do that. All you have to do is work on projects and store it in a way that is visible for everybody. Use that to secure internship opportunity or co-ops. And that's it. That's what building portfolio is. Yeah, you cannot talk about other attributes that you have to, like your resume, your website, your repositories, and all of that. But these are the two things you need. Projects, build projects, replicate projects already existing, or build solutions by yourself. Be able to walk us through the solution that you build and use that to even look for internship. The problem is once you finish learning, or even in the course of learning, you're already looking for a CEO opportunity. You already apply, and I'm not saying you should not go on for your shot, right? I'm not saying you should not shoot your shot to get these opportunities, but I'm saying that, hey, you can as well start early. If you can as well start as early as possible from the closest step to you than to try to jump the ladder, right? You cannot have, instigate projects that you have done and approach a company for internship opportunities, and you're not saying they're not giving you. The issue is that you're using those projects you do to try to look for an expert role, and they might not really welcome them, right? So internship opportunity. Now, I know I've said it on different platforms a number of times, but I'm going to say it again. Be ready to sacrifice. A lot of time, you get lost away in sacrificing for internship or co-op. And co-op does not really mean when you're starting your career. You might want to switch career as an expert in a particular field, and you want to go into another field. It does not mean that, now that I'm already an expert here, I cannot go and co-op there. You can. So this is what you're using to build your portfolio. Now, if I'm going to start my career afresh today, it will not take me a year to start making money in tech, because now I know clearer the things that took me a while to build that I can easily build within 3-4 months. So be ready to co-op. Now, that might not come with the millions, which is what I know a lot of people don't want to hear. That might not come with the million. That might not come with the cash. That might not come with the full working from home opportunity. That might not even come with the international USD paying offer or pounds paying offers. That might not come with the full location package. That might come with the barest of no pay job. So the question is, do you want to build a career or you're looking for a job? There are two different things. If you want to build a career, there are steps to it. If you are looking for a job, Yeah, apply 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 20 companies per month. Trust me, before you do that for the next 3 months, you will get to at least one person. One person will give you, even if an internship opportunity, they will give you. But the question is that all? Is that what you want to do? Because in a career, there are multiple jobs. But in a job, you can only build one job, one work inside of it. In a career, there are multiple jobs. So a lot of time, what I notice is that people just want a job. People just want to work. They just want a job. They don't want to build a career. And that's the reason why, I saw a meme one time when somebody said that I've applied so much this one that I didn't even know why I was being called now for an aviation role as a software engineer. He has to apply for a software engineer because he was just applying, he applied himself to an aviation as an hostel mistress, like an airline mistress, and now she has an interview, But what I'm trying to say here is that there is a career to be built. Now, because you are building a career, that helps you to determine which kind of mentor you're accountable to. That helps you to study what kind of jobs you even apply to. That helps you to know that, okay, this is where I'm going to, this is the skill set that I have, and there is more for me to learn. Right? That also gives you the mindset of humility that, hey, what you want to build is a skyscraper. You cannot wake up one day and you already have it. It means that you must be humble enough to keep learning. Even when you have your first job, so to speak, you must continuously learn. The moment you stop building your portfolio, the moment you stop building your career and keep growing at it, yeah, you start experiencing the frustration itself because there is. Now, build your portfolio, work on projects, paid, free, internship, paid or unpaid. Use these things to build your portfolio and be able to position yourself. And I think that's a conversation for another day entirely about visibility. A lot of people are doing, they know so much, but I don't know why you think HR will slide into your DM when they don't even know you exist on their timeline. So you have learned this thing, you are good at this thing, but you're not even doing it for anybody for free. Nobody's even talking about you. Nobody's even seeing what you are doing. You feel like the social media, like LinkedIn platform is meant for celebrities and influencers. I don't know where you got that from, but that's a fallacy because that platform is meant for you to sell yourself. It is not another Facebook. There are billions of people on that platform. There are millions of people to follow, right? You should not be a novice or a beginner or even a career person in the tech field, and you don't even have people that you are following and you are reading their content and you're engaging with their content. 10 minutes in a day on your LinkedIn is way, way more valuable to you as a career professional than the 8 hours you spend on your Instagram. That's a conversion of visibility for another time. So build your portfolio, and then the next thing you do is entering the workforce. I need to say this because a lot of time, most of us are coming from different backgrounds, right? Let's say, for example, you have been a banker and you want to go into the tech space. You need to know that there are cultural differences, right? Typically, I don't know why I'm even saying, let me say this first, which is more like the last thing I should have said. There are cultural differences. You would soft skill, you go there and you say, oh man, or you want to kneel down to greet everybody, or you say, sir, all of those things, communication, culture, all of those things can be massive in affecting you to join a workforce. I see when people send resumes trying to join a workspace and you're like, really, what is going on here? Who taught you, right? Who taught you how to do this? So you need to be aware of the cultural differences, ask questions. Yes, we don't ask questions in this part of the world, but ask questions and know how to ask questions. Don't come into maybe there's a mentor out there or a professional person you look up to out there, and then you go into that and say, hi. I say, hello. And then you wait. And then you now go back and social and say, that person that I sent here, you don't even respond to me. That's entitlement. Nobody owes you that response. So calm down. So when you go to people there, don't ask them questions you can find on Google. Don't ask them questions you can ask ChatGPT. Ask questions based on things that you have made research, and based on their experience, they are the best person to answer you. Don't ask me, for example, come to my DM and say, what is software testing? Hello, Google is there for free for a purpose. Going into the data and say, what is software development? You're my mentor, I look up to you, but I want to also start something in tech. I want you to mentor me, and then you write a whole curriculum. You're not even ready to get started in the field. So for you to enter the workforce, you need to search for jobs. I know why I know why I'm hammering on it. You need to search, because people don't search for job and they say they're not working or there's no job out there. And then you ask them, so how many jobs have you applied to in the last 1 week or 1 month? And they're like, so there is one that I applied to sometimes in the first week of December. You are looking for a job. You should not be offline. You know, some people, you have applied to millions of jobs, but you have never opened your emails for once. How are you searching for jobs? And your email is outdated, right? How are you searching for jobs? How are you not following up on the applications you made? So tech professionals, you can search for jobs on amazing platforms, right? Yes, LinkedIn is like the one in your front every day, but there is Indeed, there is We Work Remote, there is Glassdoor, there's so much. There's you can. Sorry, can everybody still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we didn't hear you for some time.
Okay, sorry. So let me start again. I talk about the job search and talk about some of you go, your email goes, you don't open your email, is outdated for some of you. If you go to your email now, the 1st of May, still the last email in your DM because you have not refreshed it. I have applied for jobs. You don't even open your spam folder. You can't remember the last time you opened your spam folder because you feel like all emails will come into your inbox. But hello, sorry, sometimes email marketing goes into go to your spam box. So, and then some of you have also categorized your emails. So there is priority, there is social, you're not opening those categories that you partitioned yourself. So you must search for a job. I asked someone recently, I said, when have you applied for a job? She said, so I applied for one in the first week in December, but they didn't get back to me, but I will try again. And you're telling me you don't have jobs, as how? Yes, there is a massive layoff, but there is a massive recruitment as well. Why? Because some of these organizations want someone cheaper. And the more, you see that these companies are laying off people, but hello, they're hiring people. They are laying off people, but they're hiring people. So how do you search for a job? Go to this platform. There is LinkedIn. There is We Work Remote. There's in fact, a lot of followers that I even follow, they always share you the first top 10 platform you can apply for remote job, top 20 platforms. Use those platforms. Don't just read it and pass. And ignore it as though it is not meant for you. When you are looking for a job. You are looking for a job, your phone number is on do not disturb. Your email is not connecting. Oh, I don't have data to buy email, but you apply for a job. Some of you, I know people that have missed interview opportunity, not once, not twice, not 3 times. Right? And then you told me, and then you said you're looking for a job. So next one is networking. Build network through events like this, industry event, meetups, online forums, mentorship, job opportunities, build network. Next thing is attend interviews, which usually include technical interviews, coding challenges, behavior questions, and many more. But you need to prepare for those things. Prepare for interview, and don't just do that. Another one that I have to apply for. Every single interview is a positive response to say you are good. Let's finalize. That is what interview means. You are good for us. Let's finalize. So it is at that interview determining if the offer is coming to your table or not. And if you are leaving an interview, you should know if this offer is coming to your table or not. Quick one, career growth. I've talked about after exploring, specialize, right? Don't be a jack of all. I want 5 streams of income. So as a result of that, I'm doing data analysis, I'm doing product management, I'm doing software development, and in QA. No, in just one career that you can have multiple streams of income in just one career that you have built. Advanced education, get certification, get certified in the things that you do. Mentorship. Ladder is a great platform for you to do that already and continue the relationship after the program. The last one I would have had enough time to talk about is my Orivat growth map, where you build your career for vertically and horizontally. Well, yeah, I talk about that a lot on my page. So build your career horizontally and build your career horizontally and vertically. Sorry, I'm moving quite fast because of time. The second to the last one I mentioned is adapting to change. A lot of people are very rigid about change. This is what I know and I'm sticking to it. There are tech trends. You're already hearing about AI. You're already hearing about ChatGPT, even like as early as it came out, where you're feeling like it's none of my business. Until you realize that, hey, the person that can use it is not getting more money than you. So be open to adapting to change. Read newsletters. The truth is that the person that stays more informed will remain more competitive than every other ones. The person that stayed more informed. So you must know about what is going on. Don't just be, I'm just here to write my work and I'm done. Follow tech trends. Flexibility. You should be adaptable to learning new skills. This is the skills but hey, there is not something new that everybody wants to do. Even your tech company is saying, okay, I don't longer want you to use Selenium, now use Cypress. You cannot say, that is what I know, and that's what I must do. Go and learn Cypress. Be open to change. Work-life balance, a lot of people say it is not, but I said the balance is what you create. 80-20 can be a balance. It doesn't actually have to be 50-50. So balance your ambition with your personal well-being for a long-term success is key. I will talk about contributing to community, share knowledge. I wish I can scream that at the top of the roof. Share knowledge. Then you're sharing knowledge, there are two people learning, both you and the person listening to you. As I'm speaking to you, there are more knowledge that is coming also to me because I'm also learning from what I'm sharing. So you must be ready to share. You don't need to be an expert. And if you're already an expert in the field, please be ready to share. Because you would also need these people to recruit them one day into the opposition, or you need them to work with you, and then you want to get somebody into your role, and you cannot even vouch for somebody, and then you're looking for others, then you're interviewing strangers from the scratch. Share knowledge, build your network, be inclusive in the things that you're involved in. And lastly, I'll talk about reflection and evolution. We talk about continuous assessment. The last week I already talked about the tech assessment tool that you should use it to continuously assess yourself, reflect on your career goals from time to time. In fact, one of the things I do is that after 1 year into the company, I go back to my job description and really check, have I really fulfilled my JD in this 1 year? Because you join the company and then you realize that it's just one line of the JD that you're fulfilling in the course of your 1 year into the field. So always do like a continuous reflection. Reflect on your career goals. Go back to your JDs and really see that you're fulfilling what they asked you to fulfill. Your achievement, the areas of improvement that you should identify. Career transition. Do you want to stay? Do you want to grow? Do you want to transition out of it? You need to explore different career paths and be able to reflect and evolve as time goes on. So I wrote a love note since we are in the season of love in February. I just wrote a love note for everybody that as we gather in the vast digital expanse of this webinar, I'm overwhelmed with the sense of that everybody has to even be here. We have over 30 people here. So whether you're just starting your career in the journey into a captivating realm of technology, or you're already a seasoned expert navigating its intricate pathway, your presence here is testament that your passion, your dedication, and your interest is unyielding curiosity. Now, in the intricate lines of your code and elegant algorithm you craft, I personally see like a depth of your love for technology, the way you brought life into lines of code, turning mere pixel into powerful tools that shape our world. Your commitment to pushing the boundaries of innovation, solving complex problems, and embracing the ever-changing landscape of technology inspires awe and wonder in all who have the privilege of witnessing your good work. But beyond the lines of code and algorithm, there is something that lies within, even more profound, is a shared love that binds us all together as a community. So it's love for an endless possibilities that technology brings, the love for the thrill of unraveling mysteries and discovering new horizons, and the love for the camaraderie and support that we find in each other as we embark on this remarkable journey together. So to everybody, as we continue to unravel the mysteries of digital universe and chart the new territories in the ever-expanding realm of technology, I want you all to remember the love that unites us, the passion that drives us, and the boundaries potential that lies within every one of us. And thank you, everyone. If you have any question, you can shoot.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate your wealth of experience that you just shared now. So while we wait for people to share their questions, a couple of us already shared questions before now. So I'll just read them out. So somebody was asking about data. Okay, I'm trying to fetch that now. Someone says, I'm not sure she's still on the call. Like, I want to get into data analysis. What are the challenges she might likely face? And what courses do you recommend? I'm not sure we can recommend, just like she has shared now. There are lots of courses, courses. So that depends on you, what you're trying to achieve, what phase are you in. Okay, you said you're new. There are many introductory courses, so there are many sites you can try to search, but maybe we can just focus on the challenges. What challenges can she face? She said she wants to go into data analysis. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Possible challenges you might face if you are not versed with, numbers, you might find it challenging to settle in. However, I'm always saying that nothing is difficult to learn. It all depends on where you learn it from and how you learned it. It's really not about what you learned. Programming seems like the most toughest thing for any tech person to want to learn. But until you realize that, oh, how did a 10 years or a 12 years old teenager was able to learn coding and developing mobile application? So it's about the how and what. So I would say that challenges you might face with how to learn this and build your career in it. The moment you're able to solve that problem, I don't think there's any limitation to you learning.
Okay, thank you. Someone says, as a senior, how can you handle a situation where an engineer in your team doesn't deliver consistently?
Okay. So I have something called the management, I call it the DAS. It's more like the management DAS. Basically, what you're doing is have a conversation, right? Beyond the key part that you do, it could just be that person is suffering from something beyond even work. So have a one-on-one conversation with the person and let there be a track record, right? Receive that, okay, consistently, because sometimes we also exaggerate. You have not been delivering, only to discover that it's just once or twice that the person did not deliver. So be sure that the person has not been delivering with track records and receipts. Then from there, you now have a conversation with the person. It's always a conversation first for me. Sit with the person, have a one-on-one, let them understand what is going on, the effect, like what they are doing, what is it affecting in the team. Let them really see how important they are, how important what they are doing is, and how it is affecting the team and yourself, even in your work, as a team. Then when you do that, and there is still no resolution, well, if you are not the person managing the person directly, you might want to involve the person managing the person directly to have a one-on-one with the person. Again, conversation before you now move into a disciplinary approach, right? Disciplinary approach is now like you first of all have a written letter. You write a written email to the person. This is after you have had, like, on an average, I give like 3 levels to it. You have, first of all, have a one-on-one conversation with the person. You have had with the manager of the person. You have discussed it again, and it's not changing. Now you can now write an email so that you let the person understand how intense this is. Now, if
Okay.
after written, you then have, no, after verbal, the verbal and official verbal, then you go to written. After written, I'm trying to look for the document that I have. It's a 5-stage, is it 5 or 7 stage? Sorry, I would see it. So there's stages to it. After that, you could possibly put the person under
PIP, personal improvement
PIP.
plan.
Yeah, there's PIP in the pipeline. There is putting the person on another department, before you even get to sacking stage or termination of contract stage. So they are more like
Okay.
5 between them. Now, I'm
Okay.
sure if this person is more concerned about their work, and they would have opened up and they would have made a lot of adjustment before even get to the termination phase. So first thing, do your 2-stage of conversation, then make a verbal warning, written warning, go to the next 2 stage, then before termination. Now, of course, at this point, there are levels of people you're adding into the conversation, right?
Okay.
After you, the manager of the person, then the CTO of the company, HR at some point, hand it over to the HR at that point, continue with your
Okay.
own, take it off from there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody has sent a question. You spoke about creating a portfolio. The thing is, many times I wonder exactly what most companies are looking for. Like, how good does someone need to be, or what kind of projects should someone focus on? Or is there any sort of strategy for creating projects to get response from recruiters?
Make yourself visible and create a solution problem. Now, a lot of times, one of the portfolio that I've seen and I receive over time is that I just see people go ahead and go and replicate. Okay, for you, are UX person, you go ahead and go and replicate Twitter. For me, you didn't solve any problem. You just went to replicate Twitter. You just want to get your hands busy, right? Can you introduce a new feature into Twitter and walk me through why that feature is useful? You come about the idea. Every recruiter is looking for a problem solver that is visible. So if you're a problem solver and you are visible, you have no reason to be idle and jobless. The issue is, look at what you are putting as a project. Are you trying to keep yourself busy, or you're solving a problem? That is what a recruiter, I feel, any sensible recruiter that is looking for you for, that's what they are looking for. Now, that is for creating portfolio if you are just a beginner. If you're already a vast person in the field, they are looking for your experience in what you say you have worked on that relates to what they need you for. You can't say all your career, all you have been doing is a building, a sign-in page and a sign-up page as a front-end developer. But in research, people are looking for an AI expert, someone that has built an AI application in the UI and API. You can't match. So even if you submit your resume to that place, they might not get back to you, not because you are not good at what you do, but because the problem you are solving for them does not tally to what they want. So problem solving, I would say, is something you should build if you're a beginner. And if you're an expert, sell your value, sell to them what they need, what they are looking for. Let them know that you have what they are looking for.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So in summary, Mr. Yusuf, what you're saying is that try to look for a problem and try to come up with a solution. If you're an engineer, come up with a solution that solves that problem. And then, of course, maybe host it on a site. It must be reachable to as many people as possible. Don't leave it in your local host. Put it somewhere everyone can view. You can approach maybe companies for an internship or something, and then provide the link to that portfolio. So I think that should answer your question. So I do have a question. Since nobody has any other question, you talked about portfolio selling yourself, but I've seen instances where CTOs, because I have a couple of CTOs on my contact list, so I see their WhatsApp messages when they say, on Twitter today, they've noticed that some companies were complaining that they employed someone that was popular in quotes in the tech scene. Person is always posting videos of themselves, content as a thought leader and all of that. They've branded themselves, they have a personal website with a lot of animations and all. They call themselves Code Ninja, and those kind of big companies are trying to attract like successful talent in quotes. But when they now employ them, they have really nothing to offer. How do we draw the line in selling ourselves, trying to exaggerate what we can do, and then still selling ourselves so that we can get companies to reach out to us?
Okay, so I call them celebrities, celebrity influence and tech professionals, influencer tech professionals. They are out there on social media, but the content is empty. Now, it's for the companies to have a better recruitment strategy, because I can put it out there and be all out there, but it's not about what is out there. It's more about what is internally, right? We want you as a problem solver. I'm going to talk about the two sides. As a company, right? As a recruiter, you should up your game in interviewing this set of people when they are coming to your team. Don't just say because they are celebrity or they are the well-known tech or code ninjas or tech professionals out there, automatically they will be good inside, because it is not always the case. Not all of them, and not none of them, right? So you must be able to interview them, forgetting about what their title is, but more about who you want in your team. The skills that they're bringing to the table is what you're targeting. When you're interviewing them, you're not interviewing them because you know them on social media. You are interviewing them because, you're bringing this person to the team, and it's not a free job. You're paying them salary. You're going to put them on benefits. You're chunking out money from your accounts to them every month. So you're going to interview like every other tech professionals. right? So that is for them. So review your strategy. If you have been able to, if someone has been able to go through your interview pipeline and they are not skilled enough and they enter, it means that there's something wrong with your interview flow. So you have to revisit it. Now, that is for the company. Now, as someone that you are out there, you want to sell yourself as a professional. This calls for a deep call for everybody. Like, yes, you are building what you should be putting. See, I see social media and visibility as the icing on the cake. You are the cake with the value itself. You must have value, because really, if you are selling what you don't have, I mean, I don't want to use the Yoruba word in my mouth, I might kill it. But I'm saying that before you even sell yourself out there, make sure that you have content inside of you. Make sure that there is a content. Make sure that you are sound as what you are doing. Yes, I mean, I've come across thought leaders that this is all they do, but internally, no, you can't really tell, And you see people that they reproduce, and you're like, are you sure you learned from this person? Yes, this is what the person said. Whoa, this is what the person said. So as an individual, as a professional, be more value loaded over visibility loaded. I post on LinkedIn, but trust me, it's as spirit leads, so I don't have the energy to be consistently posting every day. You should have a personal brand as a professional. Yes, you should. I'm a very big fan of it. You should have your personal brand, because if the company is going to let you go tomorrow, your personal brand is what is going to keep you and help you get the next job, right? Have your personal brand, and you don't have to do a lot of these things to affect you in trying to keep up with the trend. Some of the things I post, there are some social media posts I'm going to drop on the 15th of this month, on the 20th of this month. I've already written it and scheduled it down. You have to be able to maximize technologies. And then you feel like, oh, Ibironke just write about this thing today. No, I didn't just write about it today. I already written it. The day that I really felt like writing on a Saturday like this, I write everything I want. I can write like 4 or 5 posts, and I'll just schedule it down, right? So I already know the things I want to do. It's not going to be affecting me. So you wonder, like, we are in a meeting here, we are discussing, I'm defending something, but my post is out there. People are liking it. Like, how am I doing the two of them together? I'm maximizing the use of technology. So you are not going to be spending 9 to 5 that are being paid to do a job to build your personal influence outside there. But you can do all of these things and balance it together. So I feel that 2 ways you can do it, but make sure that you're a person of value. And then your value to visibility ratio should be a case of, 60-40, 70, 80, 20. Be more of a value loaded than more of visibility with less value.
Okay. Thank you very much. It seems that nobody has any other question. I think we can wrap up. It's been a very long day. Thank you, everyone. Any last questions, everyone? Okay, just a few announcements before we call it a day. For mentees on Ladder Tech, we're having our offboarding call next week, Saturday. Please be available 4 p.m. next week. And then for those of us that might be interested in being mentored, please follow us on social media for information about next cohort. Ladder Tech mentees, if you have any other things like the portfolio, Mr. I've forgotten your name. If you have any concerns, Mr. Yusuf, I think you should partner with your mentor to create a portfolio. We are ending next week. So partner with your mentor. I feel, and it's a very, very important, it's almost like the most important thing. After you've learned the new skills, you need to apply it. So please partner with your mentor. You can come up with ideas, maybe 3 things, 3 problems, share it with your mentor, and then they will give you insights, they will guide you, and then you can quickly launch something, host it. What kind of how can we host it? Where can we host it? Because you can't just come up with a solution and put it in your local host. So they will assist you with doing all of that. So partner with your mentors this week. For non-Ladder Tech mentors, follow us on social media and our speakers as well. Thank you everyone for your time. We appreciate you, and have a lovely evening. Bye everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Princess Ibironke. Thank you, DJ.